Now, today's topic, I think, a kind of interesting one that we have today, uh, is swimming. Now, I just thought I'll take this topic up because there are a lot of kinds of exercises to do. But how is swimming beneficial? Now, we've got the summer months coming in, and and enjoyable to swim. There's a lot of good things, that revolve around swimming. So even sitting by the pool and just enjoying a gentle breeze if there's one, uh, sipping probably a favorite cocktail or side drink, whatever your preference uh, is a good stress buster. It relaxes the mind a lot. But swimming as an exercise, what does it do? It helps increase your heart rate without putting too much stress on the body. Okay, so it's an exercise that can build up your circulation, and it's good to keep your push your heart rate up once in a while, because that will help your circulatory system. And you don't want to do it, you can do it by like running, jogging, doing pull-ups and running up staircases, but there is a certain amount of stress, physical stress, that comes with it. Swimming has a lower amount of, quite quite low stress, and it doesn't put strain on specific muscle areas. So it's kind of an evenly distributed thing, and especially if we know how to swim, fantastic. Now, if we don't know how to swim, okay, now this is a kind of a question. I'd say swimming is a life skill. If you don't, just try and find some time to take some classes and do it. But even sitting in the pool and probably going to a shallow end and just walking in the water, like squat so that the water is above your neck, and just walking through that water itself is an exercise. Trust me. Okay, so it helps tone muscles. It gives you a good shape. It gives a good shape to the muscles, because the stresses that happen across the muscle are far more distributed than a normal exercise. And keeping yourself afloat and all of that definitely builds certain strength in muscles that you would otherwise wouldn't be able to do. Okay, so it does build strength. And if you're swimming laps, if you might start with 3 laps. You can go up, come down. It might be very tough in the beginning, but eventually you will hit a 30 lap mark without, it'll take a little bit of time, but you can definitely do 30 laps pretty easily after some time. This helps you build endurance, and that endurance is very important for how the oxygen circulates through the blood, and how you're getting certain amount of oxygen out from the muscle itself. Okay, I think we did a session on that earlier, and it's about the hemoglobin part of it. So if you haven't seen that, just go back to the archives and you'll find that entire session there. And there's a whole explanation about what happens, and what's the storage area for oxygen in the muscle. Okay, it's a big stress buster. Just lying in the pool, floating. Maybe you want a floater and you want to wear your dark glasses and just float in it. It's a fantastic stress buster. Okay. Now, I'd also advise you to try and do a little bit of underwater. Try to go down and swim underwater. It'll really improve your lung capacity, and it's a good shocker exercise for the body, because it'll help the body improve on its oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange through the lungs, and it'll help a lot on your circulatory system. So your lung capacity then generally starts to increase. Now, all of these things are around 5-minute formulas. You'll have to kind of have to do it regularly. You know, if you can at least do it once a week, it's fantastic. Once in 15 days, okay, still it's something. Once a month, well, you've not don't have too many months where there's enough sunlight, or it might be raining. So it's always good to take advantage of whenever you have that time. So don't put a timetable to it, but just remember that when you're going swimming, it's an enjoyable activity. Just don't go there to say, I'm going to become an Olympic champion, and I've got to do this, and I got to show off. And but it definitely does help tone your body. So it's a good thing. You get a lot of benefit out of it. Now, it also helps you internally. Okay, it does a lot of stuff to your body. Just swimming, not only externally, you'll have a better kind of a firmness, muscle toning and things. That does help a lot of things internally, like we discussed earlier. Uh, it helps lower your blood pressure. So if we do have blood pressure, this is something that's quite a natural way to kind of move, lower your BP, and it even helps you lower your cholesterol. Not to a very large extent, but it does play a significant role in reducing cholesterol, because there will be more circulation, there'll be more movement within the body, and of course, the joints are moving and a lot of things are happening. So cholesterol does get used up. Now, if you've had a sprain, or you just recovered from something like a fracture, or you've had, and this is something that can help with recovering from that injury. Uh, Usually, what happens in very, probably serious injuries, the doctor will prescribe a kind of a physiotherapy after that. Swimming is an excellent thing. Okay, just being in the water and slowly exercising that muscle can help you tremendously. Okay, because there is, again, you're not putting too much weight on your body, and the buoyancy of the water will keep that, it is keep that motion in progress, while it's not actually putting a huge amount of stress on it. Okay, so the recovery of a lot of muscle areas happens when there is a certain type of exercise for it. It definitely helps people who have asthma. So, swimming, table tennis are a couple of things that a lot of physicians have, they've recommended people to actually do that. So it's a good thing. So if you have asthma, it is definitely going to improve your breathing coordination, all the things that come with it. Burning calories. Okay, good thing to know. It's kind of an exercise that helps you burn a lot of calories, so it's a good thing. Now, if you do swim at a quite a good amount of time and you do a lot of laps, that evening, if you go back, you'll have a really, really good sleep. There are two reasons for it. One is, of course, you've exercised the body, so the body is a little tired. It'll have to pull out nutrients, and it'll have to develop a lot of things for you to be able to do it. And it definitely uh, improves your sleep, because you will have a lot of serotonin released if you do it. I mean, if you do it at a good length of time, at least 15 minutes, the body will start to release a lot of serotonin, and that kind of gives you an euphoria. Okay, so it's not only good for your stress, it'll kind of last a little bit, and you'll get a very pleasant, and you'll have sweet dreams, as they say. Okay, um, it's also they also say that it helps people who have, as the later stage of their life, they get dementia, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's. This is something that can really help. uh, it's not a cure, but it's something that will alleviate a lot of the symptoms. And you know it's is swimming is kind of, it's a good thing to have. It's a good skill to have. You should know how to do it. And help, it's a fun thing to do. I don't know why you can't, don't neglect it. I mean, just have an opportunity to do it. It might be at the beach, it might be a swimming pool. You might want to make it a fun thing, so you say, okay, I'm going to go to a resort, I'm going to go to a water park, and try to get that, jump in the pool and wade in the water, and maybe play some water sport there. It's fun. So it does help. So like to thank you all for this particular session. If you have any question and answers, I mean, I have the answers, I guess. So if you have any questions, you be free to shoot it out. It's you know if you're not watching this particular video live, you can always go to the comment section below, and definitely ask me any kind of question. I did have a question where people asked me what kind of stroke or what kind of exercise should I do in the swimming pool. What's a good thing to do? Uh, there are many types of strokes. There's a breaststroke, there's a freestyle, there's a backstroke, there's a butterfly stroke, breaststroke, etc., etc., side stroke, and uh, a lot of things there. Um, Doing an underwater swim is also something I would recommend that you do at least once in the session of your swimming. It's a very good thing to do, because it helps you, it helps the body, uh, deal with that tight situation, and the body will adapt. That's something you need to have in your regime. Another thing try and do is try to swim a length or a lap in the water, and with any kind of stroke, but don't splash any water. Okay, make sure that the water doesn't splash. So it's kind of a More or less, you can use a breaststroke kind of a thing, movement to do that, but don't splash any water. Now, why do I suggest that? Because it puts a different kind of a strain on your body, because you're forced not to splash water above the surface, and yet you have to keep afloat and move. So this requires it. I mean, you can try and do it. You'll have to acquire the technique. And for different people, they have a slightly different way of doing it, but it's kind of aligned around the breaststroke kind of principle. It'll build a different kind of a muscle strength for you. Okay. And initially it's not very easy. And initially you will not be able to do it for very long. So you can try and do it across the breadth of the pool instead of the length of the pool, and see how little water you splash. It's also the sign of a good swimmer, because um, once you've conserved this, you'll know how to keep yourself afloat in the water without using too much of energy. So it's a good skill to acquire. So uh, sorry, I don't do swimming classes, but if at all you're in the same city or the same spot, and you'd like to know how to swim, just send me a message. And if I'm there and available, I'll definitely spend probably 45 minutes, an hour with you, and show you what to do. So it's a good thing. So again, it was a very, very nice session here today. I hope this information was useful for you. um, do send in any other topic that you'd like to cover in any of the sessions. Just shoot me a mail. If it's a question or it's a whole topic that you'd like me to take, I'll be more than happy to do it. So before I move on, I'd like to wish everyone a fantastic week. I know it's a huge preparation for the financial year end, and yes, it can be consuming. So don't forget to keep your vitality up. Thank you, and have a nice week.